Guys, the last time I made a video, I said I wanted to make a point to come out here and make more positive videos. The season's almost around the corner. We have a preseason game, albeit it doesn't involve the Dolphins, but we have a preseason game in about a week's time. I want to come out here and make more positive videos, but it's so freaking hard. Dolphins are currently dealing with a plethora of injuries. It started off yesterday with reports that Liam Eichenberg and Darren Waller are going to be placed on the PUP list going into the beginning of training camp. Darren Waller, for the life of me, I cannot understand why he is on the PUP list. I take that back. The only thing that I could say, you know what, maybe this makes sense, is the fact that he is just now getting back into football. So maybe you could say he's not into football shape yet. He's not ready to hit guys because he hasn't been doing it for over a year. So that would make sense. And then Liam Eichenberg coming with injury obviously stinks. So then we move into today, the opening day of training camp. And we have a couple of new injuries to speak about. So the first one that happened, Baber Matos, the Miami Dolphins international player, has a slightly different designation when it comes to making the 53-man roster with the NFL's attempt to outreach to international players. He sustained an injury in which he was airlifted away to a nearby hospital. Now, at the time of recording this, I could not find anything as to what actually happened to him. I've checked multiple sources, including my girlfriend who was at the training camp. She works for one of the news stations up in Palm Beach. So just seeing, hey, you know anything? Nope, nothing along those lines. You Google it. There has been no reports as of yet, even if you look at NFL.com. No reports as of yet as to what happened. He's said to be in stable condition. If you're just having to say that he's in stable condition, that's probably not a good thing, but it is a good thing that he is in stable condition. So he sustained the injury. And then later on in the practice today, going down with what appears to be a season-ending injury is Artie Burns. Now, Artie Burns was not projected to be a starter on this Dolphins team, which is who will be a starter right now. Our fifth-round rookie is a projected starter at the cornerback group. Artie was backpedaling on defense, apparently got tangled up in the legs with somebody else. And when I first read that, and of course, he did leave the day on crutches. When I first read that, I'm like, dang, that stinks. He has a high ankle injury, probably, or some sort of ankle sprain in general, because I've done something very similar on the basketball court, backpedaling, you step on somebody's foot, you turn the ankle, and you walk away with a sprained ankle. While that certainly sucks, and while that would have led him probably missing to a month and a half, really, probably at worst with the type of treatment they're able to get there, it does look like it's a little more serious than that. Adam Schefter reporting that it is a likely ACL, or the Dolphins are fearing that it's an ACL. And fear would be the correct word for it. The Dolphins just traded away Jalen Ramsey, and what was already a very, very weak cornerback group just got a whole lot weaker. ESPN currently has the Miami Dolphins starting cornerback group as Storm Duck, Jason Marshall Jr., and Kadar Kohu. Now, you got to make a real argument for that group being the not weakest cornerback group in the league. You got basically a rookie in Storm Duck. He didn't play a whole lot last year. He's a second-year player who doesn't have a lot of reps. Then you have a literal rookie in Jason Marshall Jr., and you have Kadar Kohu, who is coming off of a relatively weak season. You could say that was probably because of the group that he had around him. Well, that group has certainly gotten worse with the departure of Jalen Ramsey. And you look around him, and he's got no experience whatsoever. And then one of the few pieces of experience that you could find in that cornerback group was Artie Burns. He now looks like he's done for the season. Now, the Dolphins were already linked with making additions to this cornerback group. Most notably, Rasul Douglas was the name that has been thrown around the most that the Dolphins could bring in. And I guess technically speaking, Rasul is a improvement. You look at his advanced metrics last year, and they were not good. And if the team that he is coming from is saying, we hope you get him, a la the Buffalo Bills fans saying they hope the Dolphins are able to get Rasul Douglas, that's typically not a good sign when your opponents, when your in-division rivals who have dominated the division over the last half decade are saying that they hope you get him. He is likely to sign with the Dolphins. I think it was probably a solid 80% chance that the Dolphins signed Rasul Douglas before this happened. Now, that's probably pushed all the way up to 90. Now, the issue comes with this does take a little bit of leverage away from the Dolphins just in terms of trying to have money left over, because not only where you probably going to bring Rasul Douglas in to start on the outside. You now need another inside cornerback to back up Kader Kahoot. And there are names out there that you could bring in, and I say names, but more than players, because you look at the list of free agents at the cornerback position, you're looking at Stephon Gilmore, you're looking at James Bradbury, you're looking at guys that are pushing or well into their 30s at this point in their career as guys that might have to start week 1 for this Dolphins team. You could also go the younger route with a CJ Henderson or Asante Samuel Jr. Do you really want to go after Asante Samuel Jr. after Asante Samuel Sr. just put the entire Dolphins team and specifically Mike McDaniel on blast, calling them soft, which I agree with, but doesn't mean I want the father of a potential player coming in to be saying these things. No matter what, no matter how you dice up the situation, the Dolphins are in a really bad situation when it comes to the cornerback group. It's going to be amongst, if not the single weakest cornerback group in the league, as this league goes more and more pass heavy. I mean, we saw the seriousness that the Dolphins took this position a few years ago by going out making additions like Byron Jones and then Jalen Ramsey. There isn't going to be a signing like that for the Dolphins. There is not going to be a trade like that for the Dolphins where you point out a veteran that is arguably one of the best in the league and you just go out and get them. That's not going to happen. That's not where the Dolphins are at right now. You're going to look at a more cut rate option that is not going to be that good. Artie Burns is done for the season. Bayer Matos, we'll see what happens with him. Stable condition is better than nothing at all, I suppose. And then on the PUP list, Liam Eichenberg and Darren Waller. Dolphins need to go into the season as healthy as possible. There's so many thin spots on this roster, and we're already seeing that go the other way. Who would you like to see the Dolphins bring in? Definitely need to bring in a cornerback, and we're probably going to make a video on that at some point. Let us know who you'd like to see the Dolphins bring in with some of these injury concerns. Let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. We'll see y'all next time. Have a great rest of your day. Go Dolphins.